What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All the Mods Expert. Yeah, guys, so we set up this witch farm a while ago, right, guys? And we haven't really messed with it. We just kind of set it up. It's been collecting loot and all this kind of stuff. Originally, we just had these regular 1x1 drawers for our redstone and our glowstone. I came over here and looked to see how it was doing, and we had, was it about 1,200 glowstone, about 1,200 redstone. Very even on the amounts that we're getting from both of those. Kind of surprising, really. But yeah, I decided, since we're about a little over, well, I think these hold about 2,048 items. Is that what it is? These 1x1 drawers. I decided that I should swap those out for the compacting drawers. Those will hold a lot more items. Yeah, so I put a compacting drawer here for our redstone and a compacting drawer for our glowstone. Yep, and then I was kind of looking back here at the different items we were collecting. For some reason, we had some glowstone and some redstone. I think we had spider eyes, just some other random things. It's like the stuff that was in there should have gone to the drawers, but they didn't. Not entirely sure why. But anyway, yeah, our witch farm is doing pretty good. We could also add in a speed upgrade to our restored spawner up there. We might look at doing that if we need more of these resources in the future. But yeah, I definitely wanted to give that a check and see how things are going. I'm glad I did. I don't really want to start voiding out that glowstone and redstone. I'd rather keep as much of that as possible. So the last few episodes, we've been working on trying to get our nuclear reactor going, right? And we kind of ended last time because we were out of resources. But since then, I have gotten everything crafted. We have all the resources for these things. I did make these reactor platings. Now, I'll show you guys the reason for that. But first of all, this is what we're going to do. Overclocked heat vents, they're going to go like this. Right, so right here is going to be your quad fuel cell on top and bottom, and then we want these overclocked heat vents surrounding it. All right, so we have that in two per one of these 3 column sections, and then we want these component heat vents, so they're touching these two. We want so they're touching those two, and it's just a repeating pattern down this way. So this thing is touching those, and this one's touching these. I think we could put them like this if you wanted to have an exact mirror. But we're just going to do it this way. So this is all we need. And then the quad fuel cells here to get this going. So I'm going to repeat this pattern over here. And then one more time, the third one. So there we go. And then we can repeat this pattern as well. And there we go. So it is kind of hard to tell where those quad fuel cells go. I mean, it looks like a bunch of random spaces open. And we're going to want to fix those. Eventually, we're going to want this reactor to be automatic, where as the fuel cells get spent, they get pulled out, and then new ones get placed in there. And if they get placed in there, it doesn't really know where they're going to go. It's going to put a fuel cell here and here and here, and it's just going to mess everything up, and this thing will explode. It'll just be bad. So that's what these reactor platings are for. We're using them specifically to fill in spaces. We don't need anything there, but we're putting these here, so the only open spots are going to be where the quad fuel cells go. All right, so it's like the opposite of how we place these component heat vents. So yeah, it's 1, then 2, then 1. So it's going to be 1, 2, and then 1, right? So we'll do that, and then this one, this one, this one, and that one. There we go. So now we only got the 6 spots open in our nuclear reactor, so we can hold 6 quad fuel cells. I can't remember if we made 6 of those or not. We made 1. So let's tell the system to make 5 more. Looks like we have everything ready to go to do that. And it is currently crafting up iron plates and then copper plates. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait for that stuff to happen. It looks like we are using a little bit of our RF here. By a little bit, I mean a decent amount, like 500 RF per tick extra. So yeah, we are using metal former. We're using this metal former. I also did bring our compactor and extractor down from upstairs. I disassembled our whole geothermal setup that we had outside. Yeah, that's all down here now. Okay, so yeah, we're making the fuel rods. We're doing the enriched uranium. Nice. So yeah, everything's happening. This one looks like we're running out of power. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. I guess having 3 overclocker upgrades and all of these things is just not going to work. We're just not making the correct amount of power for that. So I'll pull one of these out. It kind of messes up when I scroll wheel that. It looks like they all disappear. We only get 1 down here, but that's just a visual glitch. So yeah, it looks like we're regaining power. I guess we can only keep 2 in each one of those. All right. I think everything's happening just fine. Let's go take a look and see where we're at on our auto crafting. We still have not made one yet. Okay. So yeah, it's going to take a minute for all of these things to process. I guess we're waiting on the copper plates before I can make these quad fuel cells. So let's go ahead, wait for this all to finish up, and then we will get our nuclear reactor hooked up. Alright guys, so the auto crafting finished up, and I switched over to my hazmat suit. So let's grab our quad fuel rods. There's 6 of those. Alright, so we should be able to put these over in our nuclear reactor now. So yeah, last episode we were talking about how I switched over to 1440p, and the UI was a little small. It was kind of like between large was too small and auto was way too big. So I think I found a nice way to get it back to where it was before. So in the Minecraft configs, people told me in the comments of last episode, there is a options.txt file. And in that options.txt, there's one that says GUI scale. Anyway, tiny is 1, normal is 2, large is 3, I think. But I manually edited that file. I changed it to 4, and it looks like we're about where we used to be on the resolution of this UI. So I think we should be good to go. So yeah, you can't set that in the game. You have to manually edit the file. And I think when I went to options here, video settings, it says auto, but it's actually set to number 4. This is like, if I were to swap this to tiny, normal, large, and back to auto, it would not look the same, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so yeah, I got our resolution back, our UI scale back to where it should be. Anyway, so we are all set up here. I'm kind of afraid to put the lever on there and turn this thing on, to be honest. I hope everything is right, is all I gotta say. So before we turn this thing on, I think first of all, we got to figure out what we're going to do with all of the power that we're going to be able to be producing here. I think this is going to make like 400. Is it 420 EU or is it like 360? I can't remember. It's something along those lines. So let's make ourselves a mass fabricator. So a mass fabricator will produce UU matter, and we can use that UU matter to make other things like advanced circuits or electronic circuits, both of which are kind of a pain. These specifically I'd like to make so I don't have to do this recipe anymore. So anyway, yeah, let's get ourselves a mass fabricator made. So we need 2 advanced circuits, a lapotron crystal, so it's an energy crystal plus some lapis dust, and then more advanced circuits. Oh my goodness, there's already so many things that we got to do for this. Then we need the advanced machine casings. We've already made these before, so that's the advanced alloy steel plate carbon plates, and then these bronze plates. So there's a lot of crafting I'm going to have to do here to get these things going, but I don't want to just waste the power that we're making from a nuclear reactor. That'll help supplement the power over here, but I also want to use the power and start making UU matter. Yeah. Also, we're going to have to wait for our nuclear reactor to run its course. I think it takes like 2 hours, or is it 4 hours? I can't remember what it is for each of those fuel rods to deplete. And we need those depleted fuel rods to make our MOX nuclear fuel. Yeah, that's the whole reason we got into this in the first place. Okay, so I'm going to take some time here. Let me get all of these things made, and then we will be right back, guys. Alright guys, so we got everything ready to go here. We have everything for this mass fabricator ready, and then I also made an LV transformer. I'm pretty sure that the nuclear reactor is going to be outputting more than 32 EU per tick. In fact, now that I'm looking at this thing, it says that it's going to be converting 128 to 32. We might even need a medium before the LV transformer. I guess we'll find out if this thing explodes. Alright. So let's take this thing over here, mass fabricator. Yep, we will take this over here. I guess what we should do for the first test is just to see if this LV transformer is going to work. Like if we put the power for the nuclear reactor into this, I kind of feel like we do need the medium. So if we do the MV, what does that cost? That is a basic machine casing. You know what? That's not super expensive. High 512. And I think this is going to be putting out like 300 plus, so that's probably more than what the LV transformer can handle. Let's go ahead and just make that. So we need, what was it, just a basic machine casing? Yeah, okay, so whoop. Can't type R in the screen, otherwise it like screws things up. Yeah, let's do 8 of those real quick. We'll just get those cooking up. Yeah, wasn't really prepared for that. And then we already have some insulated copper, so that's not such a big deal. So yeah, once those finish up, we should be good to go. All right, so we will, I guess, prepare things for this. So we'll have the high voltage coming into this glass fiber cable, which will go into the mass fabricator. I guess we'll put the mass fabricator here, right? So that'll start producing the UU matter juice, and then we can store that into like a drum or something. So we'll have the glass fiber continue on. That'll go into an MV. We'll have the MV here, and then we can pipe that directly into an LV, which will continue on. You know what? I kind of feel like we want to put the MV here, wire, and then the LV. Yeah, I think that's I think that should be fine. Okay, so we will go with that. Is this thing done? Looks like we are done over here. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a basic machine casing. Do one of those, this, that, this thing, and this one. All right, cool. Yeah, once we get this thing all figured out, we can rearrange this and make it look nicer and whatnot. All right, so MV, I believe the high power faces towards you, right? Yeah, so we got the 5 dots here. So the HV goes into here. That'll convert into medium. And then we can convert that further into LV, and that'll output more 32 EU per tick over into the same wire. So I think we should be pretty well good to go on all of this. Now, hopefully, I got everything set up correctly here. I do believe when we turn this nuclear reactor on, if there's a problem, like we'll figure it out pretty quickly because it says core temperature is 0%. This will rise up beyond 0%, I think, if we have a problem. Let's just flip the lever. Let's just do it. So 360 EU per tick. It says the core temperature is 0. That's what we want to see. If that core temperature starts rising, that's a problem. When it gets to 100%, then we have a big boom. We don't want that. And I think we're pretty much good to go here. So we are taking that power and we are making, yeah, we are definitely making UU matter here. Now, once this gets to 100%, we'll make 1 millibucket of this stuff. Yeah, it's not a whole lot. So I guess if we're going to be doing this, we should feed scrap into our mass fabricator, which will make this go a lot faster. So let's look at making ourselves a recycler. The recycler is made with dirt, a compressor, iron, and glowstone. Compressor, oh, more electronic circuits and more basic machine casings. And then hardened stone. I do believe we've been collecting the hardened stone just from mining in the world, right? Yeah, we have 254. We got plenty of that stuff. All right, let me go ahead and make a recycler real quick, and then we will get this thing hooked up. All right, guys, so I just went ahead and I made a recycler, and this time I made 2 transformer upgrades. So the transformer upgrades are a little expensive, but not like out of our reach at all. So it does require an MV transformer per upgrade. 2 of those will upgrade our machine so it can accept the high voltage power that's coming from the nuclear reactor. It also requires 2x insulated gold cable, which is a gold cable plus 2 rubber, and you get 4 of those per ingot through our metal former on the extruding mode. So it's not like crazy expensive, and then a little bit of glass to go along with that. And then, as we saw before, basic machine casing, so some bronze plates. So yeah, like I said, not out of our reach, but it is just a little expensive. Anyway, we're going to put a recycler right here, okay? So the way that's going to work, we're going to put our transformer upgrades in here so this can accept the higher voltage power, and then we're just going to go directly from the nuclear reactor into this guy. So this has power. So this needs items in order to recycle to get scrap, right? So we need to set up a way to get that. Now, normally I use some kind of a cobblestone generator because you can get cobblestone for free. Yeah, so it seems like the logical thing to do. So if we're going to do that, we're going to want, I believe we're going to go with the extra utilities. Yeah, we're going to want transfer pipe. We're going to want a transfer node. And one of these. Yep, so that is steel, machine base. Is that not what these other things were? No. Oh, that's more expensive, isn't it? Okay, so a machine base. We never made those before. Machine base comes from Constantan, Electrum, and then more electronic circuits. Oh my goodness. I've had to make so many of these so far just to make that compressor, not to make 2 more. Do we have any more printed? We have only 2 of these remaining. Okay, So the microchip, I think we're not going to have enough stuff for this. Probably out of paper. No, we have paper. We need more electrum and then redstone. We have to make electrum anyway. So let's go ahead. Yeah, all we have is just those nuggets. So let's grab gold. We'll do, oh, I don't know, probably 16. And then silver, do a quarter of a stack of that. That'll end up with half a stack of electrum, and that should be just fine. I would like to make myself travel anchors. I see those in the comments every now and then. Instead of using the wand of traveling, just use the travel anchors. Unfortunately, the travel anchors require a lot of ender pearls, and we don't have those just yet. So until we do, I'm just kind of warping around like I am right now. So yeah, gold and silver, 1 ingot each turns into 2 ingots of electrum. So yeah, we'll get a lot of that pretty quickly here. That's more than enough. I'll just come back and collect the rest of that at a later time. Okay, so we have that done. What else did we need for this? Electrum. All right. All right. So we need, I think it was more nuggets, and I think it was redstone. It said that we didn't have enough of, but we have it in block form. So we should be okay. I'll just turn some of those blocks into dust. All right. I think we should be good on that. So what was it? The microchip. Microchip. We need 2 more of those. Yeah, it looks like we have everything in the system now for that. Yeah, when I farmed up a little bit more obsidian, we had ran out of that. I got like 2 1/4 stacks, I think, down from our mine down below. I would like to figure out a way to get this stuff automatically. I don't know. Is there... Can we get those from bees? Yeah, okay. So it looks like bees are going to be the way eventually we're going to get this stuff. Looks like Void Resource Miner will also do that if we ever get into this. I've been keeping my eye on making these things, but unfortunately it just costs too much RF, and we just don't have the way to produce that at this point in time. But eventually we will. We'll definitely be looking at that. So we're going to need LV wire coils. Let me just go ahead and finish this up, and then we will continue on, guys. Alright guys, so continuing on with our recycler here, let's go ahead and hook up a cobblestone generator. I just went ahead and made another mining upgrade. We might not have enough GP to run this and our other water generator one that we have outside, so we'll have to take a look at that. But yeah, let's go ahead and build this under here. We're just gonna go 1 block under the ground here just so we don't have to see the cobblestone generator. All right, so we need 1 piece of cobblestone in the center, right? And then we're going to need water on one side and lava on the other. So there's water. I'm trying to think if I should surround that with blocks, because if we mine underneath, it might get messy. But I guess we'll figure that out when we get there. Yeah, so there's all of our lava that we have. All right, so water, cobble, lava. We'll go ahead and cover that up. Right? And then we need to put our transfer node here. Right click on there, and then our mining upgrade here. So that should start mining cobblestone. Yeah, that's our cobblestone generator. Now I was curious if we could use these item conduits to extract directly out of there. It doesn't look like that connects to it, unfortunately. So we might have to have this thing connect to some kind of a drawer first. That should be easy enough for us to do. I think I had an extra drawer over here. Yeah, we can just connect it to like a basic drawer or whatever. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just some kind of an inventory for that to put stuff into. And then we will put that right here. Guess that doesn't go down there. It'll go right like this. So we also, if I remember correctly, have to put a transfer pipe between this and the drawer. In 1.7, they used to connect automatically, but now this is just a single thing, and it needs to have a transfer pipe to connect. Yeah, so there we go. All right, so now we got 57, 58 cobblestone in there. Perfect. All right, I think we're well on our way here. I like it. Now, item conduit, we can just connect from this guy to the top here. Like so. We will extract. Always active. This will be insert. All right, so now we are putting cobblestone in here, and that is being recycled. I don't remember what the percent chance is that cobblestone will turn into scrap. It's like 10% or something. It's not really high. But yeah, once we make the scrap, then we got to figure out how we're going to push that from here down below. So I think what we're going to end up doing is just making ourselves I forget what the, no, let's go over here and take a look. What are these things called? It's called an ejector upgrade. Yeah, so we'll make another ejector upgrade. So that is a piston plus 10 plates. Let's go ahead and tell the system to make these 10 plates. All right, and then we'll make a piston. I really do like this recipe down here. It's just one log, an iron ingot, redstone dozen, and a piece of cobble of some description. It just makes making pistons that much easier, in my opinion. All right, so we got one more 10 plate. There we go. So now we can make these perfect. All right, so now with the ejector upgrade, for those of you who haven't seen this before, if you want to eject from the top, you have to shift click on the top of a block, and it says automatically output to the top side. And I think it even says it right here. If you want to eject from, say, the east face, you can shift right click on that thing, and it'll say it's ejecting to the east side. But yeah, we want it to be on the bottom. So I'm just going to come over here to like one of these blocks. Automatically output to the bottom side. All right, so we can just put that right into this guy. And that'll just push the scrap as it makes it down into our mass fabricator. Now you saw there was an amplifier there, and that went away quite quickly. Yeah, so every time we make a scrap, it'll push down into here, and then it'll amplify and make the progress go that much faster, or I think it makes it go that much more efficient. Anyway, so we're gonna need some overclocker upgrades if this is gonna go at a decent speed. How are we doing right now on the cobblestone? Okay, so the cobblestone is going, we are gaining, but as soon as I put this overclocker in there, it is going to eat all that cobblestone really fast. Yeah, we're keeping up on the transfer, it looks like, but this is gonna go away. Yeah, the production of cobblestone is gonna be our bottleneck now. But we should be making the scrap at a decent rate now. It makes it okay. I don't think there's any way to increase the rate in which we get those the scrap. You just have to make the recycler go faster and faster, which uses more and more power and requires more and more cobblestone. Okay, so in order to speed that up, we're gonna need a speed upgrade for extra utilities too. So that's a redstone block, a gold ingot, and then an upgrade base, which is weighted pressure plate. Now I think that increases just 1 GP per upgrade. Does it say the maximum? 20 upgrades. All right, so if we wanted to make all 20 of those, that is going to be 20 gold ingots plus an additional 40 for the upgrade base. Do we have enough? It looks like we do. It looks like we do. All right, so we can turn those into these weighted pressure plates, put those over here. That'll go through this machine, and then we run out of GP. All right, it must be nighttime. Yeah, it's turning nighttime. If we sleep, our solar panels will kick on, and then we'll get that little bit of extra GP being produced. It kind of feels like we're at the point now where we should add more to our water mills over here. Each water mill we have is producing 16 GP, and it does not rely on the sunlight at all. We can add more of these in here to have more GP overall and have that available all the time. It's probably a thing that we're going to want to do, especially if we want to put the speed upgrades in our witch spawners. Yeah, because each upgrade, as we saw, does require 1 GP, so having more of that is definitely a good thing. Okay, I'll go ahead and let these things finish up down here. I really would like to get travel anchors, guys, but yeah, it just requires too many ender pearls, and we just don't have those yet. We'll probably work on that very, very soon, I think. Yeah, let's wait for these to finish up. We'll make the speed upgrades, and then we'll be back, guys. All right, guys, so we are here dealing with zombies because it's nighttime. Wow, that guy's got a lot of health. Wow, goodness. All the health on that one. So yeah, we are over here. We're currently in the process of making this camouflaged paneling. We want to make more GP, so we're going to make more water mills. Those require the stone burnt, which comes from polished stone, which comes from living rock, which we need greenhouse block in this mod pack to make, which requires camouflage paneling and brick. Yeah, hold on. Let's deal with Mr. Zombie over here. My goodness, look at all the health. How many hearts do you have, guy? Huh. Anyway, so yeah, we are making the camouflage paneling. If you guys remember, you can set the recipe here, and then it doesn't matter which color dye you have in the system, or I guess the carpenter will just go ahead and start using whatever it is that you have. In our case, we have a lot of red dye. We can get a lot of this red dye simply from bone mealing our rose bush over there. Every time you bone meal, you get a new rose bush. You can put the rose bush in the sag mill and then run it through this and get a whole lot of red dye. So that's what I've been doing. Also, I've been making more biomass here, and it looks like we need to take some of that and transfer that over here. Been taking the biomass, or making biomass out of saplings. I was trying to make it out of biochaff before. You can take wheat and put into the sag mill. I think it uses 8 pieces and then makes a biochaff, which gives you more biomass per operation than the saplings do. But unfortunately, we were running out of wheat. Our wheat farm we have over here, yeah, it lost its hoe. The hoe broke, and then it used all of the remaining wheat and seeds that we had and turned it into biofuel, and that all got spent making RF power. Anyway, we don't have this thing hooked up to be automatic yet because we don't have a lot of GP to pump water into this. We do have a water supply over there, but I don't have the transfer pipe. Anyway, I've just been sitting here doing this manually. It's not that big of a deal. We don't have to make like a ridiculous amount of this camouflage paneling, but we do have to make enough so we can get enough of our stone burnt and we don't have to worry about it for a little bit of time. Anyway, so that looks like that's full. We can transfer from here back over to this one. This one looks like it might have stopped. No, it's still going. This just goes really slow. So anyway, we're just using a lot of our red dye here to turn into these camouflage panelings. I already got one stack. We're working on our next one. I'm going to make a lot of our polished stone, or I guess our living rock, and then we'll be back, guys. Wow, that took a lot longer than I was thinking it was going to take, but yeah, we now have 4 of these water mills. Yeah, the way that's going to work, we have one center source block of water here that is flowing in, well, it will be flowing in 4 different directions like it is right now, and each one of these streams will have a water mill around it. The water mills require flowing water next to them in order to produce power, and if they have the first water block next to them, that's the source. So the next one after that, they produce the most amount of power from that. If you move the water further away, they produce less and less, depending on the size of this flowing block of water. Anyway, so the way that's set up is, yeah, all of these guys are getting the flowing water from the center, right? And then we have some on the outside to provide the flowing water next to these guys. So everywhere there's a torch is eventually going to be a water mill if we continue along this pattern. But yeah, I think that is going to be just fine. So right now we are producing 30, well, I guess 73 total GP. We're using 30. We're going to be needing 20 more. So I think we should be just fine in order to get this going. So we have these 20 speed upgrades made, or upgrade speeds, whatever they're called. Yeah, so that should allow our cobblestone generator go pretty quickly. So over here, we have generated a total of 44 millibuckets of UU matter since we've set this thing up. So I've been going at this for a little while now. So if we come down here, let's grab a pick. Let's get access to this guy, and we'll put in the full 20 upgrades there. So now we're producing cobblestone at a pretty decent rate, right? We're making it way faster than when we're using it. So the next step is we need to start putting in more speed upgrades into this guy to use the cobblestone faster to produce the scrap so we can make the UU matter that much faster. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to steal some of these speed upgrades from over here. Maybe like our fluid solid canning machine. Yeah, let's put 3 of those. So we'll have a total of 8 in here. So it looks like we're using cobblestone quickly. We are doing this pretty quickly. What I'd like to see is that our amplifier is always going down here. So that's going to require a lot more cobblestone than what we're currently using. We need to keep this fuller. Are we still gaining? Yeah, we are still gaining cobblestone here. So let's steal a few more. So we'll take 3 out of the ore washing plant. Let's put them in here. I think that's going to be too many, but let's try it. We're keeping up on power, looks like. That is going very, very fast. Now we're not putting the cobblestone in there fast enough, but we're still making it fast enough. So we need speed upgrades for our conduit here. How are we doing? Okay, so we are gaining. Yeah, as long as we have scrap here, we're doing well. You see how fast this progress bar is going now in comparison to what it was previously. So yeah, this is going to be really, really good. We need to get the cobblestone in here faster. So I need to make yet more speed upgrades. So what do we have? So what does it cost for these? So that's a piston, electrical steel, iron, and redstone torch. So I think each one of those, yeah, increases by 4. So we could probably put 3 or 4 in there and probably max that out. I don't think we have to do the full 15. We might want the full 15 eventually though. So let's go make a few of those real quick. I think we have electrical steel. We don't. Okay, I need to go make electrical steel. All right, so I made 4 of these speed upgrades. I think that's probably going to be all we need for right now. Eventually we will want to max this out, but I think we should be good. Are we keeping up on the cobblestone now? We are. So this is going all the time. Power's doing its thing. We're keeping up on scrap. So eventually this will fill up all the way. This will fill up all the way, and then we'll be using less power on the recycler, and then most of it will be going to the mass fabricator. So after all this time that we've been working here, our uranium fuel rods have depleted about a quarter. Yep, they're about a quarter of the way depleted. So I gotta let this thing go until these things are all depleted. Oh my goodness. It might be about the time where we look at setting this up on a local server so I don't have to have the game client running all of the time. And things like this will just happen. Pretty much what I'm waiting on right now, though, is for these quad fuel rods to be completely depleted, and then we can hook up some kind of way to automate this process. So we only extract out the quad fuel rods, and then we'll push in brand new fuel rods once those are done. Yeah, I think that's kind of what we want to do. Also, the mass fabricator, this UU matter stuff that we're making, we can use this UU matter to reproduce the plutonium that we're going to need for the MOX nuclear fuel. This stuff. I do believe we can, you know what, I don't think it shows up in JEI, but I do think that we can use the UU matter to produce either the tiny piles or the full things of plutonium. Yeah, it doesn't show up here in NEI that we can do that with this, but I'm pretty sure we can. So yeah, it looks like our recycler is now full of scrap, which means this is full of scrap, and we're using the amplifier 100% of the time, which is awesome. So yeah, we're only gonna be recycling cobblestone just to fill this thing up now. So yeah, the more power we can push into the mass fabricator, the faster this thing will go. So if we set up another one of these reactors and hook it up to that same power line, yeah, this thing will go faster and it'll use scrap faster, and we'll have to put in more overclockers. But right now, I guess we can start taking out some of the overclockers and just see where we need to be in order to keep up with this. So maybe remove 2 of those. It looks like we're still keeping up. I'll have to keep my eye on this. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap the episode up here for today. Oh my goodness. So much stuff with this IC2, but we're about the point right now where we're not going to have to mess with it too much more. Yeah, things are just happening. We'll eventually want to look at replicating things with the replicator and all that stuff, but that's a little bit further down the road. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.